Hey YouTube, you missed everything. Sorry, we have a car. I will fill you in if you're. Please ask me, and I will fill you in what happened. Oh no, I deleted it. There it is. Okay, yeah. So you can select pawns and have them auto-possess. Have them be auto-possessed by a player. There's only 8 players also, that's kind of weird. So I guess maybe our battle royale won't work like this. We have to do something else for our battle royale.
To auto-possess, do you like select the player in the game mode, or?
What?
I'm assuming like if you select the player, like the pawn in the game mode, it will auto-possess like automatically, or like what does?
Oh, you mean like that? Yeah. Yeah, if a player pawn is spawned through a player start, like the default one in the game mode, it will do the possession for you. So it will auto possess.
So what happens if you like select the default player in the game mode now? Does that like get overridden by this one, or?
I think. I don't know. Let's do a player start. Let's see what happens. Because I removed the player start now, but we can put it in again. It's still the car. So I'm guessing this auto possession nonsense happens after the spawning of a pawn. So I'm guessing this pawn is still spawned here, like this default pawn. I would guess at least. Player controller. No? No, it doesn't even spawn it. Okay, so I guess maybe it detects if there is an auto possession somewhere in the level. It does not spawn the default pawn, perhaps, and it only just like possesses here. So maybe that's how it works, and so this one doesn't even come into, like, it doesn't do anything. That's cool. Interesting.
Would you mind if we did like a short recap for the recording, because I might want to rewatch this, like what we did, like very quick.
Sure. So we made a pawn here. Just a race car, inherited from pawn. We could inherit from actor to get input, but it's easier if you just do it from pawn, because then we have possession and stuff. Nothing else, it's just a pawn, it's nothing else. Then I went online and downloaded some sick cars from the car kit on kenny.nl. The fuck? What does NL mean? Northlandia. So I downloaded some cars. I dragged the FBX files into use that car folder in content here, and we can see it created like a bunch of U assets here. So those are the one that Unreal actually reads. We could remove the FBX files now if we wanted to. It doesn't actually need the FBX files, and the data is still in these U assets, but we can keep them in as well. So then I went into our race car and just added the static mesh. So it's like one neat way of doing that is just go in and select the mesh here in asset browser, and then when you try to create a static mesh, it will actually assign that selected mesh by default. So a nice quick way of just adding meshes to your actors. Just select them in the assets. Yeah, and then I dragged it out into the level. And I showed that we could manually possess this in begin play in the level blueprints by getting the player controller and just manually calling possess. And then to get a reference to our little race car, I selected in the level and then R-click in the level blueprint to get the reference to that specific actor. So this is one way of doing it. If we want to do it programmatically, perhaps maybe we want to spawn the cars when we start game. We might do that later actually. And then this would be a great way to do that. Or, we can just go into our car pawn and select this auto possess player here and select which player should be controlling this specific car. So I'll just do player 0. Cool. And with that, let's take a 5-minute breaker. So I'll see you guys back at 45. Grab some water. Stretch your legs.
Coffee time.